Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back. Today I would like to speak about the principle of divine unity. Now, this is a essential and foundational principle of all the Abrahamic religions, in particular the Islamic tradition. We call this principle Tawhid, and Tawhid means to make one. Now, why is Tawhid such an important principle? Well, first of all of existence is founded on a principle of oneness. There is a unity in existence. Even modern scientists who explore the material world have come to the realization that underlying all of this, there is a single principle. And they want to find a unified theory that explains all things. Similarly, the Islamic or the religious traditions also posits a unified theory. And this unified theory really essentially is the statement La ilaha illallah. There is no deity, there is no God but God. This is the theory of unity. This is the statement of unity, kalimat al-tawheed. Now, we also have various versions of this statement. For example, we say in Surah Ikhlas or Surah Tawheed, the verse of Tawheed, it says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say that God is one. So Imam Ali says, the foremost and the first principle is knowledge of Him. And he says the perfection of this knowledge is believing in Him. And the perfection of this belief is to affirm His oneness. And the perfection of this affirmation is positing transcendence, meaning that God cannot be described, He cannot be known, He cannot be seen or heard. He is an absolute reality. On one hand, we have the divine essence, and we have the absolute being, which we call Allah or God. And on the other hand, we have creation. We have existence. And this existence entertains or it encompasses multiplicity. So we see and we deal with multiplicity, but at the same time, we can extrapolate a principle of unity and oneness within all things. So how does the one God interact with multiplicity? We know that He is the creator and He has created this world, but is God present in the world? Or is He absent? Is He outside? Is He in another place? So if we say that God is outside of this world, then who's controlling this world? Who's in charge of this universe? But if we say that God is inside of things, then haven't we brought the absolute being into the form of the limited? So we have this contradiction. Is fundamental philosophical contradiction that we cannot resolve by the intellect. However, we can explain it through words and through certain analogies. Imam Ali says, هو داخل في الأشياء ليس بالممازجة. So God is in all things, but He is not mixed within them. وخارج عن الأشياء ليس بالمزايلة. So He is outside of all things, but He is not isolated from them. It is an obvious contradiction. The mind cannot grasp this. It is impossible for the intellect to grasp this, and this is the limit of the intellect. And this is why the intellect cannot know God in the fullest capacity. We can know about God, but we cannot know or cannot embrace the true nature of the divine being. And for this reason, God has created another faculty within the human being called the heart. The heart is a plane, is a special reality, it's a faculty of understanding, which is the inward aspect of the intellect. Now, science cannot understand the heart. The heart is a spiritual principle. It is found in religious texts, it is found in mystical texts, and all religions speak about the heart. Just like the Quran says, He says, فَأَيْنَمَا تَوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. Wherever so you turn, you will find the face of God. So wherever a human being looks, you will find God there. You will find the imprint. So God is not isolated from all things. And this is attested to in the Quran. He also says that He is the God in the heavens as He is the God on the earth. Now we are not positing multiple gods. We're not positing a duality. We're positing an absolute oneness and transcendence. Now, when we speak about the divine essence, we can allude to it. We can say that, yes, there is a thing called the divine essence. But we cannot understand it, we cannot fathom it, because the divine essence is described as the absolute, the transcendent. When the Surah Al-Ikhlas says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, is huwa, he. We're not referring to Allah as the God that we can come to know, but it is referring to the identity, the huwiyya, the ipseity, or the identity of that divine being, which we cannot know. But let me say one thing, that Tawhid is not with respect to the divine being alone. Tawhid is also a principle which you embody, that we embody ourselves. Tawhid is an existential principle. In order to understand the oneness of God, a person must have a oneness of being in themselves. If you have many diversions in your life, then these are the things which block you from understanding God. So on a practical level, in order to understand, people say, I want to get close to God, I want to know what is the nature of life. Then the first principle is to gather yourself, to become one, to become unified, to become transcendent within yourself. Then you will grasp Tawheed, because you will become one with it. You must have a singular purpose in life, a singular outlook. All things must revolve around a single principle, and all of the levels of yourself, the nafs, the soul, the body, the heart, the intellect, the spirit, all of these must have a singular voice. Then you will be in sync with that singular reality, which is Allahu Ahad, the one God. So I end there. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.